Okay guys, I wanted to just revisit this question here from the Bricks community by Blake. And it was about alignment where you got a single container and you want to have a element aligned to the left of that container and another element aligned to the center of that same container. I did put up a solution yesterday which was using a flex row and using some negative margin on the second element on the left hand side to bring it back to the left of the first element. It works. It bugged me after I did this because I thought, well, this is actually a silly way of doing it, considering we've got CSS grid, which allows for overlapping. And this is kind of old school thinking, and got to get out of that thinking. So I'm going to show you an example of what I mean. So here's a basic empty page. We've got a container. I'm going to add a block to it. And in that block, I'm going to add an icon. I'm going to add another block. Inside that block, I'm going to add some text, basic text, take some of that basic text away. Okay, come back to our block. And on that block, we want to set our alignments to the center. So at the moment, we now have kind of the alignment that he wants, where we've got a container. This is aligned vertically to that container, and that's aligned to the left of that container. So we have, with this top container, we have the icon aligned to the left. We've got the box going the full width of that container and the content aligned to the center. So that part of it's done. Now, the simple way to now get this all on the same row is using grid. And we're going to do it at the ID level first, and then I'll take it off and show you how to do this as a class. So all we're going to do is on our content for our block up here, change that to grid, and automatically we have a grid. We don't have to do anything else on that. We might actually just do some alignment here, but let's come back to that. And we're now going to add a CSS rule, which is root, followed by any element. We want to put the grid row on 1 and the grid column on 1. Not grid. So grid row and grid column are on 1 now for any element that is a child of this block. So that's going to be the icon and the block there. Both of those are going to go to grid row 1, grid column 1. So we've got a single column, but both of these are going to be filling the same space. That makes sense. Now from here, it's just alignment. So if we go to our content here, we can use our alignment controls to align the item so everything's in the center if we want to. Entirely up to you. Or you can add that to your CSS rule down here, just under root. I think it's easier to use UI for the simple things like that. And that's done. All right, now let's take that off. What else do we set here? I think we set the grid and we set the alignment. Did we set the alignment? Okay, so that's our basic unstyled. Now let's create a class on this top one. We're going to call this fancy icon text. Actually, let me just see if I've got anything on there. I have. Let me get rid of all the stuff I want here from playing around. Nothing there. Okay, so we just plain blank empty block. Right, on that, what we now want to do is set our display to grid. It gives us our grid. Go to our style tab and put that same CSS on the on there. The UI is not updating properly, but there we go, it's done. So all we've done is taken the ID stuff that we took off the ID there and we've placed it onto this class. Now if I do another section, add another section here. Now if I just add a block, what else do we add? An icon. We had those the other way around, we had the icon on the block, and so with that block we have some text. Let's make it a heading inside that text. Okay, and in our block here, we're going to put some alignment there. This is specifically that block. Now to get this all working, all we have to do is, I didn't do a block first, sorry. We'll do another block. Container, icon inside the container, block inside the container, and on this block here, all I have to do is add fancy text. Fancy icon text, and then we're aligned, okay? And I didn't do the alignment on the class because we want to do that on a per instance basis. So we take the class off, and then we align our items here, so that's aligned to the center. It's as simple as doing that. So when you put on a class, all you have to do is apply the class to another block, the same structure under it, and then it just works. So hopefully that makes sense. If it does, hit the subscribe, hit the like. Love to hear what you think. Thank you.